So we're back down at the beach again to try out a different Westfalia this time, and this time it's the Kepler Six. So again, based on a VW Transporter, but it's a long wheelbase again, just gives you that extra space. And yeah, let's take a look around the outside. As with all the Westfalia products, you can get all the options that you can get on a normal VW. So all the paint work, you can have whatever colour that you can get in a normal VW palette. You can also get, it comes as standard with 102 horsepower. You can get the 150 horsepower or the 204 horsepower. You can also get 4Motion. You can't get 4Motion and the 204 horsepower together, but you can get the 150 and 4Motion together. Not confusing at all. But anyway, you can also get the, it comes with a manual as standard. You can also get DSG gearbox is an option. So let's take a look around the outside. So it comes as standard with a normal awning rail on the side. You've got this is the outlet. The inlet for the electricity there. You just put the hookup plug into there. Here is the water inlet. Now this one is actually optioned out with hot water as well, so very luxurious. You can't get that on a California. So yeah, very nice. You can see the Westfalia decals on the side. And as we get around the back, you can see the Kepler 6 comes with a tailgate, unlike the barn doors which you get on a usual Transporter. Very handy in the UK. It stops you getting wet when you cut the boot up, which is nice. This one's also fitted with a reversing camera as well. Right, well there's not much more to say about the outside. It's all pretty standard stuff that you would expect from any camper van. So let's take a look inside, but before we do that, I just want to say a big thank you to Harbour Creek Motorhomes for providing this fantastic vehicle for us to review. But let's go and take a look inside.
Welcome to a really light and airy cabin area of the Kepler 6. Now, part of the reason it's called a Kepler 6, or probably the entire reason why it's called the Kepler 6, is the fact that you can actually have 6 seat-belted seats in this van, which is quite amazing. So at the moment this one's got 4, it's got the 2 at the front, obviously the driver, the passenger, and then these 2 at the back. But you can fit another 2 into these rails that are on the floor here. Now, you probably notice whilst I'm sat here that first off it's a beautiful white leather that I obviously really like. Probably not that appropriate for dog owners like ourselves, but a lot of people will quite like the luxury, I think, of something like this. But you might notice that it is not a bench seat like in the California. Now I like this design because it means you get 2 proper seats. They've got the ISOFIXs as well, but it's a very different design in the sense that these seats fold forwards and a bed actually comes over and sits on top of them, which we will show you in a bit. Now the beauty of this design without the bench seats is the fact that even with the 4 seats in the back here, you can fold all 4 of the seats down and still use the bed in the back. Although where you're going to sleep 6 people, I don't really know, because it's only 4 berths, but you can kick 2 of them outside, it'd be fine. They can sleep under the van. No, but all joking aside, I'm pretty sure it's designed so that, you know, if you're the sort of person who likes to reproduce a lot, then you can do that and still have a camper van. Now let's take a look at the kitchen area. Now the first thing that I think is very important is showing you guys the fridge. So here is an unusual one actually. It's an entirely black fridge, which actually you don't see. Well, I've never seen, I don't think. They're always white inside, but actually I quite like this fridge. It looks quite space age, but it's very big, really really good size. And I like the fact that it's got this, it's just a very easy open and shut. There's also one of these in it, like little basket things that are quite handy. Then moving on, we've got a split top to the most part of the kitchen here. So you've got 2 burners. Now these 2 burners are actually different sizes. There's one small one and one bigger one. Now looking at this, it does actually look like they are quite close together, but I imagine you can fit 2 ridge monkeys on there quite happily. They might have to be at jaunty angles a little bit, but I mean that's the most important thing, isn't it? Being able to fit your ridge monkey on it. So, and there's a lovely big sink here. Again, the tap that folds down, so it folds out of the way, and then you can put the tops back down. And I really like the fact that these are split, so that you can be using the hob, and then you've still got space to do chopping up, or if you want to be doing the washing up, instead you can have it the other way around, and then you've got more space to put your items to dry or hand to the next person to dry up and put away. Now there's lots of storage space in the kitchen as well. There's a lovely convenient drawer here which has got all your cutlery in, and a nice cutlery tray that fits in there. Lovely positive catches, we like them. I love these curved edges that Westfalia put in their van designs. I think it's really classy, and it's a really nice finish to the kitchen. It makes it feel much more luxurious. Now for your big pots and pans, you've got a big drawer here, plenty of space inside there to keep all of them, and then that shuts away nice and easily whilst you're driving. So that's it, that's a good look at the kitchen. I'm a big fan. I think it looks really, really classy, and there are lights that go all the way along the edges as well, and along the top there. So nice and bright for when you're cooking. As far as power goes, you've got this lovely little 12 volt socket here, and then underneath it you've got a 230 volt plug here as well. One of the things that I really like is reading, and these little reading lights are especially handy for if you say sat in the front seat and just reading, or if you want to be lying in bed and having a read. They can move anywhere, so I think they're a really clever little feature. And then as well, what I really love is we've just spotted these tiny little porthole lights, little LEDs that go all the way round. Now I think they're really cute, and an idea that I haven't seen on any other vans. Now overhead the kitchen, you've got a great little control panel. Now this will tell you about the water levels, battery levels, and then you've also got a handy little control panel for your lights and the water. That debates whether you put hot water on or not. Now what I really like is the fact that you've also got an awning light, which is something that I think quite a lot of vans are missing, so that's quite nice to see. One clever little feature that I've found is this here looks a lot like a 12 volt, however you lift it up, it's actually two little USB sockets. Now I like to see USB sockets in the vans now because a lot of products use USB and it is the future, and also it's all over the world, everyone uses USB. So it's really nice to see that a lot of vans are now putting them in instead, so you don't ever have to worry about where your products are being bought from, which country, you can just use it wherever. And just above that you've got the light switches for those little porthole lights that I really liked, and also the light underneath the kitchen unit. Where is the table, I hear you ask? Well, good question. They have hidden it inside the door, which seems to be a feature now of quite a lot of camper vans, and I think a very clever feature at that. What I've also got, just above that, is some more hidey holes to keep things, so that means passengers in the back can hide their biscuits and all sorts of things that you can find years later. But the table's a beautiful whitewash again, and that just clips on with the rail on here, to the side, over here, and there you go, you've got yourself a table for 4 people. Now in the cabin area, the only opening window is the one above the kitchen, which is probably the most useful place to have it anyway, because you want all the smells from the kitchen to go straight out the window. So that is just one of these sliding doors, exactly the same as things like the Transporter of the California. And then you've also got these little poppers, and these blinds just slide across nice and easy. And it's all magnetic, so it's really easy just to shut them up, and you've got full privacy there. There's a lot of storage in this van, and as you can tell, there's more sliding storage here. There are actually rails inside that to hang up clothes. It's not a huge amount of space, if I'm honest. I don't think you could get a hanger fully in there, but these shelves are removable, so if you did want to hang stuff, there is that for an option. And then there's another one at the back, and again with all the shelves there, and then the water tank is hidden underneath this shelf in particular. Then above the bottom bed you've got a drop down storage unit there. Now you'll notice these rails on the floor look like they're just an attraction basically for every crumb that ends up on the floor, but they have an extremely important use, and that is because all of these chairs are singularly movable. So one chair could move forward, the other chair could stay back. If you've got a bike, you could move one chair forward and then put the bike behind that, and you've still got both chairs to sit in and use. This is really clever. But then also you've got these storage boxes that can move along the rails as well. Now these are all part of what you get with the package. It's not an option, you just get them already. This is great. It's a really, really big storage space. Imagine being able to keep your shoes in there, just wheeling it to and fro, pushing it back to the back, and then you're done with it. And as a result of these rails, absolutely everything is removable apart from the kitchen sink. But that does mean that if you want to set up a removals company, you can.
Okay, so continuing with storage around the back of the Kepler, we've got these. So it comes with one of these massive boxes, loads of storage in this. Again, it's on the rail, so you can remove it, or you can put it in a different place if you want to. It has a tambour door on the top, if I can get to that. There we go. And so you can fill this up if you wanted to at home, and then just plonk it in, which is great. This one is not the same one as the one that we've seen in the front. It is a different one, and you can, as an option, get more of these. So if you wanted 2 of these, you could pop another one in as well. So yeah, they're really, really good. You also have these tie downs, so if you wanted to remove all the stuff and put bikes in the back, yeah, you can lash them down with these sort of ties. What else have we got? On this side, we're talking about hanging space for your clothes, for your coats and things like that. Like Lizzie said, there isn't a huge amount of space in there for hanging stuff, but the neat idea is, you see this bar here? If you don't want to use the hanging space in there, you can just pull that and hang stuff here, which is pretty neat. You have another light here, another reading light, which is handy for people in the back here, and also for when you're using the bed down here. And then you have another 12 volt socket. So there's 2 12 volts and 2 USBs, and they're the ones that we found. There's probably more in here. That's really good. And then this one has the shower attachment, which I'll better put that back in there. Has the shower attachment, which is hooked up to the hot water, so you can actually have a proper shower in the back here. Very neat. On the well, UK driver's side, there's also this, instead of a window here, you have this panel which you can put magazines, etc. in the side here, so you get more storage for putting things, which is really handy for maybe chucking your phone in there at night time whilst it's charging. Right, let's have a look at how the bed's made up. Okay, so let's try the bottom bed out. First of all, you rotate these little things on the side of the seats and they fold flat. And again on that side, you can have, same as reclining a chair, but it goes all the way down. So you pull, no, stay down, like that. It's like a knack to it, but once you know how to do it, it's not too bad at all. Then you have these legs either side, and they sit like that, and there is your bed. It's a really long bed, actually, really long.
One of the biggest differences between this van and say the California is the California, the way you get in the upstairs bed, you go straight up from the cabin area. If I went straight up, I'd go straight into the roof. So I'm going to find out how you get up into the bed, because I actually don't know. It might be really easy, but we'll find out. So I guess you just pull it down as normal. I'm going to crush the cameraman. And then I don't know what. So it's not the easiest thing in the world, but I have got up here, and I think ideally you just slide that seat forward and then you can jump up a bit easier that way. I don't know. Let us know in the comments if you know an easier way to get into the top bed. It's still fun though, and I'll tell you what, it's really comfy up here. The reason it's so comfy up here is it's got these Froley springs on it. And I've spoken about these before and I absolutely love them. I think it's a really good design, and I do feel like VW are going to go that way in the future, but at the moment Westfalia are leading the market in comfy beds upstairs. In the summertime, when it gets hot up here, one of the best things that you can do, that I love seeing, is the fact that you can unzip the canvas around the pop top, and that will stay nice and lovely and cool. Mind you, all the mosquitoes will be joining you at the party, but at least you'll be cool. However, if you don't want the mosquitoes to join you at the party, there are of course windows on all the sides and they all have mosquito nets. Actually, that's a lie. The one at the front doesn't have a mosquito net, but it is clear.
Come on, get down.
How do I get down?
Come on,
That's a
jump.
big drop.
It's not that far.
I'm gonna have to stand on the kitchen.
No. Oh, okay. That worked.
That worked. Right, we're good. We got there eventually.
Right, here in the cab of the Kepler 6, it's not an optical illusion. We're not flipped around. It is a left-hand drive vehicle, this one. It is available in right-hand drive. It just so happens that Harbour Creek sell a lot of left-hand drive models as well, because a lot of people go to Europe with them, so it makes sense. Like I said earlier, this one's a manual, but you can get DSG gearbox, and other than that, it's just, you know, all the usual VW options. So you can get the sat nav, you can upgrade the hi-fi, you can do all sorts of things like that, cruise control, etc. The seats, both seats swivel. We've just swiveled this one just to make it a bit easier. The finish is fantastic. This cream leather is, yeah, really soft, really nice. All done by Westfalia, and yeah, other than that, it's a normal VW in the front here. So once again, I'd like to say a big thank you to Harbour Creek Motorhomes. They're down at Hayling Island on the south coast. If you're interested in the Westfalia or any sort of camper vans, they've got loads of different ones in stock. Please head into the description, click on their link, and yeah, go and say hello to them. Matthew from Harbour Creek has been fantastic. He even brought the Kepler down to the beach for us. I think it's mainly because he wanted to go and sunbathe for an hour or so.
Don't blame him. I'm going to go and get an ice cream after this. It's
Definitely.
a hot day today.
Definitely.
Day.
We're not
lovely.
used to this in the UK.
No.
But what do you think of the Kepler 6 then? I keep wanting to call it the Kepler 1. If you've not seen the Kepler 1, check out the link in the description. We've done a review of that. But what do you think of the Kepler 6?
Well, do you know what? It's interesting. When I first had a look at the Kepler 6, I thought, well, it's really similar to the VW California. Like, would you really want something that is so similar over something like the VW California? However, I have to say, I really like the idea that if you've got sporting equipment like bikes and things that you don't want to be leaving outside, you can move these chairs forward and have the bike in the middle here as well, and you can tie it down on the points. It's basically everything is able to be moved. It's all like Meccano set, basically. It's a really clever design.
You could actually put, even if you just had two kids, you could put the two seats one in front of the other and have your bikes alongside. And yeah, there's so many different options.
Really
it's
clever.
really good.
And that would help you if you were going abroad and you wanted the van to be shorter, say, because you wouldn't have to have a bike rack on the back. You could then have the bikes inside, and that actually cost you less money because you wouldn't be paying for a larger van on the ferry. So there's a lot of things to consider, and actually it's really opened my eyes to a completely different design. And I'm a big fan. I really like it.
I think still the quality of the Westfalia products is second to none. Their kitchen units are just fantastic. They're really nicely done. The leather is brilliant. It's really good. Yeah, there's just the fantastic quality, and it, like Lizzie says, a really good option, and it's perfect for if you've got more than two kids, or you do kayaking, mountain bike, or anything like that. I think it's a great option.
They've actually fit a longboard in here.
Yeah,
they were telling me
they've
earlier,
used that in the Westfalia press photos. They've actually put a longboard in. So yeah, really cool.
Yeah. But let us know what you think. Would you have this over something like the California? Have you already got one of these? What do you think about it? Let us know. We'll be really interested to read your comments about it. But thank you very much for watching this video, and again a massive thank you to Harbour Creek for letting us have a good look around the van, and hopefully we will see you all again soon. And don't forget to like and subscribe to A Bus and Beyond.
A Bus and Beyond.
Thank
Cheers.
you very much. See you. Bye.